Welcome back. Well, as World Diabetes Day comes to an end, the focus has been on GLP drugs that have grown in popularity over the years. And Aspen is betting on contracts for these medications to boost future earnings. And joining me to discuss this in greater detail is Aspen's Group Senior Executive for Strategic Trade, Stavros Nicolaou. Thank you so much for your time, Stavros. Let's actually start off with the prevalence of diabetes in a country like South Africa, and maybe also taking into account that there's been a case of people going undiagnosed a lot more after COVID.
Firstly, good evening to all the viewers, and thanks very much for having me on again. As you correctly point out, today we commemorate, not celebrate, World Diabetes Day. I say commemorate because the statistics in our country and beyond are alarming. They're akin to what we were getting to grips with 20, 25 years ago with the HIV/AIDS pandemic. So let me give you some of those statistics. The first is that the biggest killer in women from disease is diabetes. So it's ranked number one. Now, I bet few people expected me to say that. I think they would have said it's probably HIV or TB or one of those. Yeah. It's actually not. So for women in our country, it's the number one killer is diabetes. For males, it's the number 5 killer. TB is the number one. So the rankings are kind of reversed with males and females. The other alarming statistic is that the prevalence is more than 10% now. So at least 1 in 10 people are going to be diabetic. 1 in 2 go undiagnosed. And the problem with that is these patients present very late. And end stage means they've got a myriad of complications, including kidney failure, impaired vision, start losing their eyesight, cardiovascular disease, hypertension. And this becomes a complex of diseases called the cardiometabolic renal complex of diseases. If left unarrested, it's going to overwhelm our healthcare system. It's going to impact lives, livelihoods, and our economy. So these are alarming statistics that we need to get to grips with as a country, and I'm afraid we're not doing enough to do so. And part of today, and our briefing earlier today was in partnership with the Endocrinology Society of South Africa. The message was we need to raise awareness, we need to get people to start testing, and we need to improve access to diagnostics and treatment.
Well, I mean, earlier on in my intro, I spoke about a medication crunch. Talk to me about that, and particularly in a time when we are seeing a lot of people now, we're seeing this trend where people are buying diabetes medication for weight loss. Are we starting to see a crunch in terms of now people that actually do need that diabetes medication struggling to get it?
So let me preface my response with another statistic. And that is we are seeing a rising tide of what is called type 2 diabetes in our country.
Yeah.
So these are not people that have a deficiency of insulin. It's largely occasioned by people that are leading sedentary lifestyles, eating extremely poorly, high carbohydrate diets. And these patients are presenting as early as 4 years old. So really from 4 years old, they're bad dietary habits. And consequently, 65% of females in our country are either overweight or obese, and 45% of the males. Now, there's a direct correlation between weight and type 2 diabetes, and a direct correlation between type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes. So the GLP-1 products that you referenced earlier, these are not new drugs, but however, in some countries around the world, they have been registered in addition to being very effective in treating and managing diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes. They have also shown significant weight loss effects. So you're getting a dual effect. And as I said, the nexus here between obesity and type 2 diabetes, and then by default all the other complications, there's a direct nexus. So obviously GLP-1 products are in high demand. There's been an explosion of these. Supply chains are constrained. The more and more people are going to start using these products. And it is for that reason that Aspen has invested significantly. We've invested 10 billion rand in developing and establishing what we call sterile injectable capacities and capabilities, both here and in our facility in France. And this is a scarce capacity that is going to hold us in good stead as more and more people move to GLP-1 use and other products like insulins, because you're getting such an explosion of type 2 diabetes.
And also, those are part of the partnerships that you also have with Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk in that effort?
Yeah, so apologies for the background noise. I think there was some hardy dice flying over.
Don't worry, didn't even
Maybe
hear
also
them.
looking for GLP-1. Yeah, so look, Aspen has done a number of deals. I think the first is we've got a contract manufacturing arrangement. So we will manufacture under contract with Novo Nordisk human insulin. Novo Nordisk is the world's largest insulin company. So that's the first one. The second is we have the rights to the Eli Lilly products for South Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. Included in there is a GLP-1 GLP product, and we hope to launch that in good time. And then the third thing is we announced recently that we will embark on production of our own GLP-1 product in time. So there are kind of three legs to this, if I can call it that. There's probably a fourth leg, which is a much smaller one, which has existed all along. Aspen does have some presence, as I speak, in what we call oral hypoglycemics. These are tablets that you would take to manage type 2 diabetes. So we're a company that's on the move in diabetes. We're becoming heavily invested, and we're moving into that market. There's significant unmet need. We've got the technologies, we've got the capacities to assist the population, generally speaking.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We do have to wrap up the conversation there. Stavros, thank you so much for your time and giving us the developments that are happening there in that space, and also just investments going into the treatment of diabetes. That was Stavros Nicolaou from Aspen.